"You've only been in the 8th grade a month," said Mr. Hanley, the principal of the county high school, "and already you've been sent to this office more than a dozen times. It's shocking. It's absolutely shocking." He waited for her to reply, but she pulled at her ragged sock tops and said nothing. "And the variety of the complaints about you. Why, I didn't realize girls ever did such things." Sounding as if he still couldn't quite believe the last one, he exclaimed, "Throwing rocks at the boiler room door." "It made a good target," said Queenie, adding in an almost boastful tone, "and I hit the latch string 10 times out of 10. "That's not anything to brag about." "Why, it's a perfect score," said Queenie, surprised that he was not impressed. "And Cravey Mason only hit it twice. That's what the fight was about. He owed me a nickel that we bet on it." "I know all that," said Mr. Hanley, "and I'm ashamed of you for throwing rocks and for gambling on it, and for fighting afterward. And I was ashamed of you on Monday when you hid in that tree and dropped a handful of china berries on Miss Shelby's head." Queenie said matter-of-factly, "I didn't know it was her. I thought she was one of those prissy senior girls." "But you don't understand," said Mr. Hanley. "You shouldn't climb trees at 13. Well, you're almost grown. Look at yourself. You're as tall as a woman." "Taller than some," said Queenie. "But you behave childishly. You know you shouldn't surprise anybody in the schoolyard by suddenly dumping china berries on them." He smiled and added pleasantly, "Even prissy senior girls." But his voice became sterner when he named other reasons for her being sent to his office in recent weeks. "It's a terrible list of incidents," he concluded. Instead of appearing ashamed, Queenie looked him square in the eyes and said, "You left out one or two." Mr. Hanley shook his head. "I don't want to expel you. Your teachers tell me you have a keen mind and that when you take an interest in your studies, it's a pleasure to have you in a class. But why do you misbehave so much?" Queenie didn't answer, and he added, "Very well, that'll be all for now." She got up to leave and was at the door when he called out, "Oh, one more thing. Someone from the courthouse left a message that Judge Lewis wants you to come by there after school." Judge Lewis was the district judge who was in Cotton Junction for the fall term of court. He came every October for a few weeks. "What does he want?" asked Queenie. "I don't know, but I'd suggest you make it your business to drop by and find out." "Yes, sir, I will," said Queenie, her voice, even her facial expression, seeming less defiant. Mr. Hanley looked at her. "And if you think of anything that I can do to help you behave yourself, I wish you'd let me know." Queenie scowled. "I don't care what you do about me," she said. "I don't care about anything." And she turned and walked away. She expected him to call her back, but he didn't. And she was sorry she hadn't said something sensible, except she had said, "I don't care" for so long and about so many things that she sometimes believed it herself. So she put one hand on her hip and walked down the hall, whistling just loud enough to attract attention as she passed open classroom doors along the way. After school, she went directly to town, where she saw Persimmon Gibbs and Floyd Spear standing in front of the drugstore. Both boys were a year younger than Queenie and in the 7th grade. They hung out in town most of the time because Persimmon's mother and father operated the cafe next to the post office, and Floyd's parents had a dry goods store. "Let's go back of the stores and shoot marbles," suggested Persimmon. "No," said Queenie. "I've got to go up to the courtroom and see what old Judge Lewis wants with me." "We'll go too," said Floyd, telling them to wait a minute while he told his folks where he was going. Persimmon could go anywhere without asking, but Floyd always had to get permission. A minute later he reappeared, followed by his younger brother Delco, who wanted to watch court in session also.